Well, welcome everyone to the live stream. It's been a while for me since I've been live. I think it's been about 4 months now, and I've been excited to get back live because I want to show everybody the new studio that I'm working out of now. I'm not in the temporary studio anymore, and that's what this live stream is all about. We just want to show you around and show you the gear that I'm using and see where it goes from there. So again, welcome everybody, and let's take a look at the comments and we'll say hello to folks in the chat. Now, I showed some of them online while the pre-show was rolling, but I'm going to go back to them and say hello to everybody. So I want to thank you, Keith, for joining, Keith Bennett from Life's Journey Productions. I really appreciate this. I know I've been watching your live streams every Tuesday, and I know you've been excited to see what I did here. So we're going to show you that in a little bit. Jeremy Leak, thank you so much for being here, Jeremy. I watch your live streams. I watch all of your videos as well, and I really do enjoy your channel. Hello, Scoby1T. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to the live stream. So nice of you to take the time out of your day to be here with me. Zach N., welcome, and thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. You've been a longtime follower of the channel, and I really do appreciate it. DJ Ware, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining us, and another great channel that I do follow and I do watch. Thank you, DJ Ware, for being here, and welcome to the stream. TVJ, hey Jay, thank you. Hello and welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. Let me see, Jay, if I can make you a moderator. It doesn't seem to be letting me, but anyway, I think we'll be okay. So thank you everyone for joining us. So we have 9 people here. We have 5 likes, so we're doing pretty good. Real quick before we get started in the stream itself and with the tour of the studio, I'm wearing a Harley Davidson shirt, but I'm not being sponsored by Harley Davidson. It's just a passion of mine. I've been riding Harleys for roughly about 18 to 20 years now. So, and during my videos, I wear my Quik Tech Solutions shirt, but during my live streams, I try to be a little bit more casual and wear things that are of personal nature to me. Sometimes you'll see in recent live streams, I've had a Remote Pilot 101 shirt on because I do fly DJI drones as well. Speaking of, before we go any further, can you guys let me know how the audio is, how it's coming across? I'm using right now the RE320 dynamic microphone, and that's new to the studio. So if you can just let me know what it sounds like, and then I'm going to switch off of that real quick because I'm also wearing a lapel. I'm going to be using the Rode Wireless Go in today's tour as well. So I just want to make sure the volume levels are okay on both of the mics. So this is the RE320 that you're listening to. Just let me know in the comments how that sounds. I'm going to cut away from that, and I'm just going to turn on the Rode Wireless Go. Okay, and now hopefully you should be hearing the Rode Wireless Go. Again, I just want to make sure that the volume level is coming across okay before we go forward with the live stream. So this is the Rode Wireless Go. Let me know if you can hear this one okay, because this will be the mic that you'll be listening to as I walk around and tour the studio. So I'm going to switch back to the RE320 for a second. And now we're back on the RE320. Let's see what we got going on in the comments. Jay says, audio sounds great. Thank you so much, Jay. I really do appreciate that. Keith Bennett, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it, Keith. I do appreciate all your support. We've had some good conversations over the last couple of weeks, and I really do enjoy our friendship. So thank you so much for the super chat. Zach says loud and clear. Thank you. TBJ says the Rode is a little bit loud and has a little bit of an echo. Okay, I will turn that down just a bit. Hopefully that'll help. Hey, Adam, welcome. Adam Tao is in the house. Thank you, Adam. What a surprise. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, so the Rode Wireless Go is just plugged directly into the ATEM, into mic input number 2. The actual RE320 is going through an audio processor and then routed into the ATEM, and I'll show you that later on in the tour. So hopefully it'll be okay during the wireless tour. And yes, of course, Jay says the Rode is a little loud, has a little bit of echo. Adam says the Rode has more noise. Dynamic mic sounds better. Oh, absolutely, 100%. Thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy says the Rode is good as well. Hey, Controlling Technologies. Hey, Joe, buddy, thank you for being here. I was wondering if you were going to make this today. Excellent. Thank you so much. TVJ says, hey, Controlling Technologies. And Joe says, hey, Jay. Okay. So, and then Adam says, put a noise gate. Yeah, Adam, I was playing with that a little bit earlier. I did put a little EQ on the Rode in the ATEM, but I still got to get a little bit more familiar and comfortable with the noise gate features built into the actual ATEM. But yeah, that's definitely along the paths of what I was thinking earlier, and that's something I'm definitely going to explore in the future. So anyway, thank you all for being here. I just want to bring a picture on screen and show you, if you've been following me through 2021, I took a lot of you on the process, the tour, and the process of building the new house. I did a couple of live streams. I showed you the build process. I showed you a little bit of the studio. If you haven't seen any of those, I just want to bring this on the screen real quick. And this is a picture of the studio before it was obviously finished. The rugs weren't in yet. It wasn't painted. It wasn't spackled or anything like that. But just to give you an idea of what it looked like beforehand, so that you can appreciate, or hopefully appreciate, what you see today when I take you around the studio. So just to give you an idea of the space is 14 feet wide by 25 feet long. And that doesn't include the server room in the back or the bathroom. That's just the open space out here. So let me just switch back real quick. I'm going to a different camera now. This is a Canon XA50 camcorder that I have in the front of the studio. So you can kind of see a shot from the front of the studio. It's not a top-down shot. It's just a higher shot up. And that's what I've done as far as from the front view. Now I'm going to switch over to the handheld camera and kind of walk to the back and take you through a tour from the back of the room, and then pan around and talk about things as we go. But before we do that, let me just quickly go back to the comments real quick, and then we'll go on our walking tour. So Joe says the studio looks amazing. Wow, what a difference since I last saw it. Thank you, Joe. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, I've been changing things around quite a bit, and quite honestly, one of the reasons why I put off doing this tour until now was I really just wanted to, because you heard me talk about it for the last year during the build process, I just wanted to, when I did present it, I wanted it to be, in my mind, just right. Like, not perfect, but presentable. And then I realized that every time I come up here, I'm constantly making changes. I'm moving this, I'm moving that, I'm adjusting this light and adjusting that light. And I realized that I probably will never get to a point where it is just perfect. I'll always be changing things. So that said, here we are today. I decided to go with it as it is. DJ Ware, thank you, DJ Ware, for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Hoping to learn something from your setup, and thanks, Tony. You're very welcome. Also, you're looking, Joe, I'm not sure. Looking, yeah. Not sure, Joe. Healthy. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Michael Burke, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it very much so. All right, let's start the walking tour. Let me get the comments off the screen. And I am going to be using, let's see if you can see this, the DJI OM4. I'm going to try not to drive you guys crazy. Let me get this working here. Just give me a second, bear with me. So what I'm doing is just airplaying my iPhone over to the Apple TV, which I'll show you all that in the tour. And then I'm just going to launch Filmic Pro and take you around the room. There we go. Okay. So let's see if I can do this without making you sick. Let me change microphones real quick. Hopefully you can hear me now, and let me switch over to the handheld camera and we'll try to get in position. Okay, here we go. So I'm kind of walking over towards the back of the room. Behind that first closed door to the right is the server room. Right, what you see over here is just a workbench that I built out of butcher block. I have my 3D camera on it. The light in the back is just a little accent light. That's a Philips Hue light. And thank you, Joe Trelli from Controlling Technologies, for sending me that starter kit months ago. As I mentioned, I wasn't going to use it in the temporary studio, but I did put it to good use here. The butcher block that I built is basically for the business side of what I do when I'm setting up equipment for Quik Tech Solutions, access points, routers, and switches. I just want a standing workspace that's comfortable for me. It's 6 foot long by 30 inches deep. I have a power strip in the back so I can plug in various devices. I have my network drops down below. You can see underneath I'm using for storage. Right here is the charging station that I built, and that was the topic in today's video, and it's been coming in super handy. But anyway, let me pan around this way and show you a shot of the studio from the rear, and we'll talk about what you're seeing. So again, from left to right you have my work area. Then I have an old antique table. It's my wife's uncle's, and we just couldn't part with it, but we really don't have a use for it in the main part of the house, but it turned into a really good printer stand. We really didn't have the heart to part with it. That's an HP 8710 all-in-one. Then I have my shelving unit there with just bins for storing things and boxes of equipment, or empty boxes as well. Panning around, let's talk about some of the lighting that you see in the studio. So we've already talked about the Philips Hue accent light. So let's go around the room and cover lighting first. Up on the tripod, and I believe that's a Coleman tripod. It's a 72-inch tripod. Now, that's not going to remain there permanently again, but this is what I'm talking about, changing things around. I'm hoping to mount that light from a ceiling bar like you see the other lights over to the right. But for now, I did this week because I recently just set up the drum set in the back of the studio, which we'll talk about in a second. But that's a newer 11-inch light. It's a bicolor light, and right now I just have it plugged in via power, and all it's really doing is highlighting a little accent lighting on the front of the drum set. Then if we look to the rear or the front of the studio, the large dome is a Light Dome SE. Sorry, I lost my thought there for a second. So that's a Light Dome SE, and it's being powered by the Aperture Amaron 100, which seems to be working out very well for me in this space. Underneath the desk on the left side is another newer light, but that's an RGB light, and it's just casting the little bluish tint onto the wall. Then over to the right side, by the way, the Light Dome SE is my key light. And then my fill light is that softbox. I believe it's a 16 by 24, and it's one of the very first light kits I bought when I started my studio 5 years ago. I still found a use for it. It's working fine as the fill light. Now you'll notice I have two arms attached to the angled ceilings. The one closest to us is a key light, is a hair light that I'm using the other newer light for. and it's working well in that position. And I could angle that, push it off to the side, get it out of the way when it's not needed. And the same thing for the one in the front that has the top-down camera. If we look along the floor there, I have an LED strip that's just casting the hint of green on the bottom of the wall there, and then I have another RGB newer light there. And the RGB newer lights are 10 inches and the bicolor are 11-inch lights. And then I recently added this drum set, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. This drum set is 51 years old. I got it from my dad when I started learning how to play back when I was 9. I've been through about 10 to 12 drum sets in my career. However, this one I could not part with because it has very special meaning to me. And so that's that. Let's take a look over here real quick. I have a 40-inch monitor that right now I'm using as a multi-view, and it's just used for the backdrop in the studio. I really do like that look, and I want to tell you that 2 YouTubers inspired me to do this, Joe Trelli from Controlling Technologies and Keith Bennett from Life's Journey Productions. Both of those guys used a multi-view as part of their backdrop, and I really like that look. And in fact, I told Joe probably a year ago that when I finally got into the new space that I was going to steal that idea from him. And then I saw Keith do it on his channel, and I was like, yep, I really have to do it. Now, before we talk about what's on the walls, let me just swing back over here to this drum set for a second. This is a vintage Gretsch drum set. They don't make them like this anymore. It's got Zildjian cymbals. I have not played in about 25 to 30 years, and this drum set just sat in cases for all that time. And I got inspired. I was in a conversation with Keith Bennett from Life Journey Productions several weeks ago, and one of the things he asked me about the new studio was, what is it about the studio that you're going to do to make it your own? And I said, well, I'm a tech guy, so I'd probably just fill it up with IT toys and things like that because I love tech and I love toys. But then I got to thinking about it, and I was like, well, you know what? I haven't played in quite a few years, but would it kill me to break out the drum set and put it as part of the backdrop as well? Now, I know Tom Buck does that, and trust me, I'm not copying Tom Buck in any shape, way, or form. I've been a musician my entire life. These drums are 51 years old, and I thought, wow, what a good way to fill up the space in the back of the studio. And maybe someday I'll even pick up the sticks again and see how rusty I am. But anyway, so yes, so as a result of that conversation, I am hoping to get back behind that set and see what I can do. But we're not going to show you that in today's live stream because it's been about 30 years. On the back walls, I'm probably going to put up some shelves because, as you saw, I'm wearing a Harley Davidson shirt. I do have a lot of Harley Davidson models, so I might put them up on a shelf. And as well as I'm also a professional wrestling fan. Yes, I did say that publicly. And I do go to a lot of meet and greets, and I have some autographed photos that I may frame and also throw on the wall area back here. So anyway, I want to thank Joe and Keith for the inspiration for using the multi-view as a backdrop. I really do want to thank Keith for making me think about other ways to personalize the studio other than just IT stuff and making it a little bit more of what is personal to me. Okay, back in the beginning of the stream, I did say that the room is 14 by 25, and the first thing I thought about when I saw that first photo that I showed you of the empty space is I'm really going to have to do something about sound treatments. So what we did was we carpeted the whole room, and I made sure that we did an extra heavy carpet, an extra heavy padding actually under the carpet. And then along the side walls and the front, you'll see I have some sound treatment. Those are actually 2x4 panels made by Armstrong, and they're called Tectum panels. They're sound absorption panels. They're made out of wood fibers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this wall here, one up in the front, again another one up in the front on the other side of the window, and then 7 more coming down the side. They're about 1 3/4 inches thick, and they have an NRC rating of up to 1, which is really, really good. So I've been pretty happy with them. I've been pretty happy with the sound that's been coming out in the recent couple of videos that have been produced in this studio. And then to help not only the sound, but also the sun as it passes by the front window, I put up those room darkening shades because not only will they prevent the colors and the white balance from changing while I'm recording a video, but they also do help absorb some of the sound. So let's see, did I leave anything out? Here we have just a set, little tiny set as part of the backdrop. It's just an old-fashioned chair. And I want to thank Ashley Trelli for designing that logo for me last year at this time. And Ashley helped me get that pillow ordered and made and shipped over to me from an Etsy shop. So Ashley, I want to thank you for that. I do have this light up here, which does shine some highlight on that. Let's just take a closer look at the ceiling angle bars. You can see I have the light for the chair. That's just a cheap 7-inch light that I picked up on Amazon. Then there's the other newer light. Real quick, let me walk you around the front to show you what's going on behind the desk. And then we'll go back to the desk real quick and check the comments before we continue. So in the back here, down here on this box is the Sonnet enclosure, and I have my 10 gig networking card in there, and it's just plugged in. It goes, if you follow that white wire down, it goes into the network wall jack there. On this Coleman 7-foot tripod, I have the Canon XA50 professional camcorder. I actually have 2 of them. I'm only using 1 in the studio right now. If you could see here, I just have a desk mount arm with nothing on it right now. I was thinking about putting another camera angle there. We'll see, but it's there. I primarily use it to hang my headphones on it for right now, but it's there in case I need it. Then I have my main camera on another desktop mount right here. And that camera is the Canon SL3, and on top of that camera is a FieldWorld 7-inch monitor. Let's just go real quick around to this side. There's the SSD drive that I have that I'm using with the ATEM Extreme. I have 2 SDI to HDMI 3G converters converting the fill and key output of the HyperDeck Mini Studio into HDMI so that I can pump both of those channels into the ATEM. And then here, this is just a little Ori cheap splitter, and really all that's doing is taking the other monitor out for the external monitor out of the computer. Well, it's coming out of the computer, going into this switch here, and then it's being split. One is going to the monitor, which is how I show you things on the screen, and then the other side of it's going into, I believe, port number 3 on the ATEM. And we'll talk about those other items there in a second. But for right now, let's get back and check the comments. And I know, don't make any comments about the spaghetti. I started out really, really neat, wire tying everything to the rails, as you can see here. But then as I kept adding things, it just got more and more difficult to clean it up. And then I realized too, if I want to move things around or change things around, having everything tied down and strapped tightly is going to be a real pain in the you-know-what if I do actually want to make some changes. So let me go ahead and flip cameras real quick. Get back here. Let me flip microphones and go back to the RE320. Let's see what I missed here. Okay. Just going back up to the comments so I don't miss anybody. All right, there we go. First of all, thank you, Kevin Crowley, and welcome to the stream. Much appreciated. And you're right, Keith, this is my happy place. I do spend most of my time here when I am not downstairs with my 4 chihuahuas and my wife. Jay says, it looks like you can use a pipe grid on your ceiling to hang your lights from. I did think about that, Jay, before I got those boom arms. Here's what stopped me. Unless you have a suggestion for me, please put it in the comments. Because the side ceilings are angled like that, I wanted to run a pipe bar across, but I have to figure out a way to get some type of mount that will pivot so that I can mount it to the angled ceiling. So I haven't figured that out yet. If anybody knows of something, I was looking at those, I can't think of those bars. Keith, you have one in your studio that just go across and you attach to. But again, I don't think I could use that on the angled ceiling. So if anybody knows, feel free, please put it in the comments. Keith, is that an LED bulb in the fill light stand? In the fill light stand? No, those are those fluorescent curly lights. I think there's two of them there's 4 sockets in there, but I believe I only have 1 or 2 of them on. TVJ, LED lights are great. You can never place old school lights on the floor like that. Yeah, and those lights, TVJ, those lights, Jay, were the lights that you commented on back in the temporary studio. I was using those 2 bicolor lights for fill and key because I didn't have the space to have this stuff here. So I just repurposed them. Hello, MT. Thank you for joining. And thank you for watching the video this morning. I appreciate that. Unky Joe's in the house. Unky Joe, thank you for joining. Unky Joe says your studio looks neat and orderly, the exact opposite of mine. I don't know, Unky Joe. Did you just see the spaghetti of wires behind the desk here? And MT says hello to everybody. TVJ says, I miss having a drum set. Jay, I didn't know you played. That's awesome. Learn something new every day. Bob Carpenter in the house. Bob, welcome. Thanks for taking the time out for being here. You could, but just once, though. And I'm just putting everybody's comments up on the screen so we could all see. Keith says, bring on the wrestling. I will. I'll have some framed pictures coming up in a couple of upcoming videos. What mount is the TV on? Ah, thank you, Kevin. Let me see if I can bring that up. I'll show you. Here it is. I'll just bring it over. Okay, let me flip this and flip to that screen. Okay, so what we have, this is the one I ordered. Pearl Gear mobile TV cart, 23 to 60 inch rolling TV. It does have a shelf to put a computer on it. Now, I didn't install the shelf when I built it because it wasn't a use case for the studio the way I'm using it. But in any event, I was going to mount it on a wall, but then I decided against that because at least putting it on the rolling cart, it allows me to move it around the studio. And I got that idea from Joe Trelli when I was up in Connecticut helping him with getting his studio ready. I did see that he had a monitor on a rolling cart, and I liked that idea. So that's why, again, Joseph, I copied you. But thank you. Good question, Kevin. And then TVJ says, if you like wrestling and tech, I need to show you the WWE satellite truck I got to see a couple, and I guess it says a couple of weeks ago. Yes. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, TVJ, definitely. I would love to see that. Let's see. Where are we? There we go. Unky Joe says, I would get rid of the tripods and hang the lights from pipes and recover the floor space. Exactly. And that's, in fact, you could ask Joe Trelli from Controlling Tech. One of the things he and I discussed while I was thinking about how I was going to set this place up was hanging everything off the ceiling and nothing on the floor. But because I'm still in that process of, I haven't settled on exactly how I want things, the tripods are coming in handy because I'm allowed, I can experiment by moving things around that way. But that was my original game plan. I can't disagree here. There was some frame stuttering for me. Anyone else see it, especially when panning left? Yeah, so that's, I think you're talking about Uncle Joe when I was going around doing the walking tour with the handheld camera. That's just using the iPhone with Filmic Pro, airplaying it to the Apple TV. I think it has something to do with sending the signal over AirPlay. There's that little bit of jitter every once in a while. I'm fully aware of that. I test panning with Filmic Pro without airplaying it, and it's smooth as pie. So I think it has something to do with sending the signal wirelessly over AirPlay. I hope it's not too distracting, guys. Yep, exactly, Keith. You hit it right on the nose. Joe Shirley, thank you so much for the super chat. Wow. To one of my best friends, your studio was a long time coming, and I'm very happy for you. It looks and sounds awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. And thank you and Ashley for all of your input along the way. Yep, the glass table is hard, although the glass table does have tubing underneath it, so I was able to tie a lot of the cables to that tubing. MT, are you referring to the RE320 or when I was on the tour using the Rode Wireless Go? Hey, Matt, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here. I think you're a newcomer. I don't think I've seen you before in my previous lives. And again, I haven't done one in a while, but thank you again for being here. And Matt says, your video helped me set up my unified network way back when, and I'm working in IT now. Well, thank you so much. And I'm glad to hear that I was able to help you with your network and help you along the way in your IT career. I appreciate that comment so very much. Jeremy says, looks amazing. This definitely gives me something to work towards in the future. Yeah, man. And Jeremy, I would be happy to help you with anything that you have questions. I know you just got the new ATEM, and I'd be happy again to help you with that and anything. I mean, I'm not an expert. Trust me. I've learned so much from, Joe Trelli and other YouTubers watching them do things in their studios. But, this is 5 years in the makings for me. And, I started with those simple soft boxes. Then I graduated to the LEDs. Now I'm using the Amaron with the Lightbox SE. So yeah, it just comes in time. Oh, thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. Keith Bennett, 5 foot ripped 4x4, so it flattens the angle, and a couple of Manfrotto auto poles. I got you. There you go. Thank you for that, Keith. I appreciate that. I'm going to have to look into that. Thank you, DJ Ware. Appreciate that. Thanks, Unky Joe. See, I told you. Hey, you know what, Unky Joe? Nobody sees it except me, except for when I do something like this and I show you a little bit of behind the scenes. But otherwise, I could live with it. It's not as bad as it was in the temporary studio. Trust me. TV's Jay says, I played drums for 9 years before stopping in college. Awesome. And maybe you never know, Jay. Someday you might pick it up. I had no idea that I would ever see those drums again. I'd never parted with them because they had sentimental value to me, but I had never thought in my wildest dreams that I would pull them out, clean them, and put them back up. And again, I got to send out thanks to Keith Bennett from Life's Journey Productions, because our conversation inspired me, because he got me thinking about what am I going to do in the studio to make it, to give it a little bit more of what I'm about besides IT. So thank you again, Keith. The ceiling mount lights arms are looking great. No cables laying around. Right, because I'm using On those two, the one above me for the hair light and the accent light on the chair, there we go, behind me, I'm using batteries. And I have extra batteries right here on my desk just in case they don't last the stream. But I don't think I'm going to be going all that long. What model are those arms? They look interesting. Let me see, Unky Joe, if I could find them real quick. Because I just recently bought them, so I could probably pull them up really quick, pretty quickly. I didn't buy the same two. I bought two different ones. And only because of the sizes that were available. Just give me 1 second. There we go. There's one and there's the other. Okay, let me bring this up over on the screen. Switch over to camera 3. Okay, so the first one, here's the first one. And that's the 7-foot one that's holding the top-down camera, which I'm going to show you all what's going on behind my desk in a second. So this is the Impact 7-foot heavy-duty wall mount. Did boom arm. It's $139. It's a little pricey, but it's very well built and very, very, very sturdy. And then I'll send you these links if you want. And then I bought this one for the not the key light, the hair light above my head. Now this one was a bit cheaper, but I have to tell you, a little bit disappointed in the build quality and the fact that it didn't come with any mounting hardware or instructions in the box. However, I got around that very easily because I have a ton of mounting stuff. So that said, you know, not a big deal. It's working fine for the hair light. All right. Desk mic is a little bit low, MT says. Well, I could crank that up a little bit. I mean, I thought it sounded okay. Everybody in the beginning said so, but I could put it up just a notch. There, I hit it 1 notch on the ATEM. All right, so real quick, we can come back to the comments in a second. I know where I left off. Let me switch back over to the actual, hold on 1 second. Oh, it's on it already. Cool. Let me switch back over to, I'm going to stay on, I think I'm going to stay on the RE320. I don't think I have to switch to the wireless Go for what's going on here at the desk. So let's kind of take a little, actually, you know what? Let me switch. There we go. Okay, let's pan from right to left. Usually you go left to right, but I'm going to pan from right to left. There I have my iPad, which is running Mix Effect by Adam Tao. Adam, I don't know if you're still here, but I do use it, buddy. Although I haven't been doing much super source in this live stream. Then I have a cheap set of Rockville studio monitors, and they're serving the purpose. Here's the RE320, which you've seen in the main shot. Back here I have the Focusrite 2i2 Generation 3, and I was using that before I bought the DBX. But now it's just being used as a sound card for my main computer. That's just an enclosure with a hard drive in it for backup. The RE320 is going through this unit right here, and this is the DBX 286S audio processor. It's got built-in preamp, compressor, de-esser, enhancer, and a noise expander and a gate. I really love that unit. I wish I could figure out a way to get the Rode Wireless Go pumped through that, but I'm going to do what Adam said earlier and try to figure out the expander and the gate on the ATEM. Maybe Joe Trelli, maybe you can help me with that. There's my Stream Deck, and I do use Companion, and I have buttons programmed for macros and things like that, and open the show, close the show. There is the Canon SL3, and that's a Takina 16-20 zoom lens. The Field World 7-inch monitor up top. There is the front view, I probably don't know how well you can see that, of the Canon XA50 camcorder. Here is the Sony a6000 with a 16-70 Sony lens on it. Thank you, courtesy of Joe Trelli, for that lens. I do appreciate that greatly. And there's just the external monitor. There's the ATEM Mini Extreme. It is not the ISO, and I will say I do regret not spending the extra $300 to get the ISO, but it is what it is. There's my Rode Wireless Go receiver. There's the HyperDeck Mini Studio, the original one, and of course I bought that, and 2 weeks later they came out with the new line of HyperDecks, but that's okay. This one's serving me well in my studio. There's the Apple TV 4th generation. These are my headphones, and these were recommended to me. I was corresponding with Tom Buck about 1.5 years ago, way before he left teaching and went on his own. And he had recommended these Sony. These are the NDR 7506 professional studio headphones. I love these things. Then in the back, I have a Unify 150 watt 8-port PoE switch. And on top of that is a Grandstream HT802 ATA, and that allows me to hook up an analog phone to my Grandstream UCM, and I'll show you that in a second. Then I have a 2135 Grandstream GXP 2135. Thank you, Dennis Pillow, for sending me that, one of my friends and longtime viewers. This, I believe, I don't remember if this is a 1610 or a 1625. Thank you, courtesy of Joe Trelli. And then I have the Canon SL2, and I'm using it just with the 18 to 55 kit lens. And I'll show you the different shots that all the cameras give you. And then just the desktop tripod. That is a Yealink, an older Yealink phone. And then there is the analog phone. Not only is it analog, but notice it is rotary. Some of you might be even too young to remember rotary phones, but I sure don't. And that's connected to the Grandstream ATA, and I could use it as an extension just like any one of these other phones. The reason I have all these phones out right now is because I've been doing a lot of Grandstream UCM support over the last couple of weeks. I've just been getting a lot of calls. I don't advertise. They're just coming my way as I guess as a result of the YouTube studio. And then this is my old 2012 iMac, which I've repurposed. I upgraded the hard drive to an SSD, upgraded the memory. The thing is running so well, I just don't have the heart to part with it. And right now, it's just serving as an input number 4 on the ATEM, and that's the artwork that I use for the super source. So I think that's everything. I have the UPS down here, which most of the important equipment is plugged into, and that keyboard's just a Microsoft wireless keyboard. And there's the mouse that I do use with that 21-inch iMac. So let me see if I can come back here and switch back. There we go. Okay. All right, let me switch microphones again. And there we go. Let's see. Let's go back to the comments and see if there are any other comments or questions. Why, thank you, Unky Joe. I appreciate that. Hey, Adam Tao. Yes, Mix Effect is amazing. Thank you so much for putting that app out to us all. I love the sound of the RE320 as well, Joseph. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Unky Joe. Thank you for being here. Hello, Adam. Didn't see you here. You've been extremely productive. Thank you for all you do. And yes, thank you so much, Adam. And not only for putting Mix Effect out, but you are like Superman. You answer the comments in the Facebook user group like almost immediately. You're amazing, and you do that with balancing everything else that you're doing. And I hope your new venture is going super well as well. Oh, still on the, oh, you're going to tell me I never switched cameras? Oh boy. Can't see, need to switch. See, Keith, you're not the only one. Okay, I'm going to try that one more time. So I guess when I started the pan left to right, I'm not going to elaborate on everything. I'm just going to pan over to everything. I do apologize so much. That's what happens when you are a one-man show. Okay. Dang it. Here we go. Switching over. Let me switch microphones again real quick. There we go. Okay. Never get through a live stream without messing something up. That's for sure. Okay, there's Mix Effect running on my iPad. There's the Rockville Studio monitors. There's the Focus 2i2 Gen 3. There's the hard drive enclosure with the hard drive in it. There you have the audio processor, the DBX286S. There you have my Stream Deck. There is my Canon SL3 with the Tokina 16 to 20 zoom lens on it, the Fieldworld 7-inch monitor, the Sony a6000 with the Sony Glass 16 to 70 zoom lens. That's the Canon XA50 camcorder in the background. There's the Mini Extreme Rode Wireless Go receiver plugged into input 2. There's the HyperDeck Mini Studio, the Apple TV 4th generation. There's the Unify PoE switch, the 8-port 150 watt. There's the GrandStream ATA on top. The 2135, courtesy of Dennis Pillow. The 1610 or 1625, courtesy of Joe Trelli. The 2012 21-inch iMac that I can't part with. That is my Super Source backdrop. And then there's my Canon SL2, my very first camera that I used when I started my YouTube studio with the 18 to 55 kit lens. There's an old Yeeling phone, and there's that desk phone, that rotary desk phone that I was hoping you saw earlier. And again, thank you, courtesy of Joe Trelli. So, I can't believe I did that, but you know what they say, stuff happens. All right, let's switch back. There we go. Thank you for pointing that out to me, everyone. All right. Let's see. Okay, yep. Okay, here we go. Tony, should we be seeing? Yes. I think I just covered that. Thank you. Adam says, thanks for all the kind comments. Yep, it happens. It happens to all of us. There we go. Demos and live streams all work perfect until they go live 100%. Oh, why the phone's on my desk? I thought I answered that, but okay. I've been doing some GrandStream UCM support on as a result of just the YouTube channel. I've been getting a lot of calls and emails and the last couple of weeks. I'm very surprised, but it's been going well. Willie Hal, you'd be extremely proud of me. I haven't had to reach out to you yet, but yeah, so all the phones are there just for experimental purposes. The 2135 is my main driver, but the other phones are just all there to experiment with ring groups and call parking and all stuff like that. So I hope that answers your question, TVJ. Okay. Michael Burks, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. And yeah, so that's my studio tour. Real quick, I just want to show you one last thing, and then I think I'm going to wrap it up. So let me bring this up, and I just want to show you. All right, so you're looking at the main camera now. Let me get the comments off the screen. And you're looking at the main camera now. And then this is the view of the top-down camera. Right, so you can see what the top-down camera sees, and I have plenty of zoom on it. I have my notes here. I have my cheat notes, so I don't forget things. I should write down, don't forget to switch camera angles. But, okay, so that's that. Camera 3 is the desktop. So when I show you what's on my desktop. And then camera 4 is the backdrop from the other computer. And then camera 5 is this view here. So if you've seen my videos, you'll notice sometimes I switch, I use shots like this. So you can see now the backdrop in the super source, and now you can see that's the SL2 camera, that's the main camera, and that's the overhead. And then, you know, I'll just do different things with the super source. Like this, like this. I have just a couple of different angles, right? So flipping things around. So anyway, there you go, guys. You've seen it firsthand, and I don't know, it may change. I am planning on probably taking your advice and trying to get things off the ground and everything mounted. I'm going to look into that idea that you gave me, Keith. We'll talk more about that maybe offline and see if I can get that auto pole or just a gas line like I have the leg of that workstation made. So the studio for me, yes, Keith, you said it earlier, it is my happy place. It is my place to make YouTube videos. It is my place to learn about new equipment and new gear. It's also my place in the back there. Hold on. Sorry about that. There we go. It is in the back there is my workstation for actually my real business. So yeah. Let me see if I just missed anything in the comments, and we're going to, I guess, wrap this up. So let's see. So Unky Joe says 3CX is your friend. I don't have a lot of experience, Unky Joe, with 3CX other than playing a little bit with Joe Trelli. I know he uses 3CX, although we've been having a little bit of an issue going on here. I have one of the lines on my 2135 is actually connected to Joe's 3CX system, and it keeps coming up online, going offline, coming up online, going offline. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. And no post-show, Joe. Sorry, don't mean to disappoint you. Ratso, I think that's a question for Keith. Thank you, MT. I really do appreciate you being here and taking the time and following my videos and commenting. Thank you so much. TVJ, is the studio well insulated for noise? I mean, with those drums and everything. Well, yeah, I'm going to say yes, TVJ. And the reason I say that is because I can't hear when my wife comes in the house, parks in the garage, brings in groceries, the dog's barking. I can't hear any of that. It's completely isolated. The door behind me, that main door coming into the studio, is also a solid wood door, not one of those hollow doors. And we did that purposely as well, in addition with the extra padding. And then at the bottom of the staircase is the laundry room, and the door that separates the laundry room from the main part of the house is also a solid wood door. So between everything, yeah, it is soundproof. I mean, something could happen to me up here and she would never know. So anyway, let's get back to the comments. Great question though, TVJ. And I couldn't figure out how to make you a moderator for today, TVJ. I know you click the vertical dots on the side, and usually it says make moderator there, but I didn't see that option. Someone needs to come up. Kevin says someone needs to come up with a live cast after spot. Keith, Joe, any ideas? Good thought. Keith Bennett, great tour. Thank you so much, Keith. Unky Joe says moved all my clients over to hybrid system. They love it. Phones follow them everywhere. Yeah, that is the cool thing about 3CX. Yep. And other cloud-based phone systems. Keith says Ratso is in his trunk. And if those of you are interested in wanting to know who Ratso is and who this Ratso character is, check out Life's Journey Productions on Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, Unky Joe. I appreciate it. A lot of thought and hard work, not a lot of hard work, thought, and planning went into it, and it's still not perfect. Don't forget to like. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. We still have 16 viewers and 13 likes, so that's really not bad at all. Love Ratso, as I do. Thank you, Joe. Chance for a server room tour someday. Yes, I was actually going to include that today. I just didn't want this stream to go any longer than it had to go. Let's see. We are on the air now for, should tell me somewhere. Yes, for 1 hour, just over 1 hour. So I will definitely do a tour just of that server room. Maybe that'll be my next live stream. Because I was thinking about it today and I said, I haven't done a live stream. I was doing live streams monthly in 2021. And then when I started to break down the studio in October, the temporary studio, to start to get ready for the move and pack things up, I haven't done a live stream since. And I thought about it now that I'm back on here live, that what will I do next time? You know, I need to start thinking of some thoughts and some ideas. So that's a good one. I will maybe make that my next live stream and we can have a conversation on what's in my server room or my network room. He says, Tony, the personal touch in the studio is great. Yeah, and I'm just getting started with it, Keith. Again, I have to thank you for getting my mind to think about that. The drums, I'm really happy, even if I don't pick up the sticks again and ever play them, but I have to lie. I have to tell you, I've already tried. I want to add more. I want to get the motorcycle models up on shelves. I want to get the printed framed wrestling pictures up, and that's really me. So, yeah. And then Uncle Joe says, love that lens on the main camera. Yeah, that Takina 16-20 is an awesome lens, and it's not super expensive. I mean, it takes truly a budget level DSLR camera, and it does really, I've been so happy with it. So thank you for saying that. All right. Well, that about wraps it up, guys. One last look at the studio from my Skycam. And we'll switch back. Actually, let's leave it there. Let's end the stream like this. I want to say thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. We have 15 viewers, 15 likes. That's great. Thank you all so much for the super chats. I really do appreciate that. And I guess until next time, let me see. One more comment caught my eye. So let me bring it on the screen. Like hanging out with you guys. Going to check out the guy's channel that I don't know. You're welcome, Jeremy. I kind of wish that I was able to pop up everybody who has channels. So let me think about this before we go. Controlling Technologies, Joe Trelli, Keith Bennett, Life's Journey Productions. Check him out. Jeremy Leek with Practical IT with Jeremy Leek. Who else? MT, do you have a channel? I know you do live streaming events out in the real world, but do you have a channel? I need to look you up, and if so, I will follow you. DJ Ware. Let me see. I just don't want to miss anybody. Unky Joe's Playhouse. TVJ. All great YouTubers. PE4 Doers. David, thank you for being here. Check out David's channel as well. Adam Tao. Of all people, Adam Tao. So I don't think I left anybody out. If I did, I do apologize. I'm scrolling through the credits real quick. I don't think it looks like I left anybody out. But if I did, not intentional. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. And like I say at the end of my video, we'll see you next time.